everybody. Happy Tarot Tuesday. This is Bridget M. Shoup, your certified metaphysical practitioner. And the reason why you're here is because you selected card number 3. So let me go ahead and dive right into your reading for this week. So basically, this is how your week is going to shape up. Okay. So for card number 3, I have, let's see if you can see that, the 5 of Spirals. So let me explain to you what your week's going to look like. So basically what this is telling me is that this week you're going to have some issues come up. Now, it's not always a bad thing to have some issues come up into your life. What's going to happen is you're going to start taking notice of a few things that you didn't realize about yourself maybe that aren't your best qualities, and they're things that you could work on to improve on and make yourself a better person. So basically what this is telling me is that you need to work on some of your shadow side. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. Like I said earlier, a lot of us have parts to our personalities that we don't necessarily like. You know, like we might be negative sometimes, or jealous, or we might just have a bad attitude, or angry. We might get angry really easily. So those are things that aren't maybe our best qualities, and those type of things are what I consider our shadow sides, right? They're the things that we don't really like to bring forward, but every once in a while, those shadows appear. And basically, that's what's going on this week for you. So your shadows are going to be creeping out of the, darkness, so to speak, and they're basically going to come forward, and you're going to notice these things happening. And so what this card's telling me is, as these shadows come forward and the things that you don't necessarily like, to take notice of them, to really realize when you see that quality in yourself that you don't like, to really take in and realize that that is not something that you like about yourself. By doing this and by acknowledging the fact that maybe, you don't like this certain quality about yourself, you can actually fix it. Because if you don't bring it forward and you don't realize that it's something you don't necessarily like about yourself, then you're never going to be able to fix these issues. So, as these shadows pop up this week for you, make sure that you take the time to really acknowledge these shadows. And by doing that, you're basically going to slay the dragon, just like in this picture, okay? So you're just going to be able to slay the dragon and be able to fix those things in your life that you don't necessarily like. By fixing these shadow sides and by slaying the dragon, because if you bring it out, right, if the shadow comes out and you see it and you recognize it and you work on it, and that's like slaying the dragon. You're working on becoming a better person, and that's what we all want out of life anyways, right? So you're going to slay this dragon by really focusing and working on a better version of yourself. And by doing that, you're going to go forward in a much happier, healthier way. You're not going to feel so, bogged down or heavy, because you're basically going to be slaying a dragon. I mean, it's going to lighten your load so much more if you can bring those parts of you out and focus on them and really just get rid of them and get out of that mindset. Whatever it is, you have to fix you and make you the better version of you. Nobody else can do that for you. You're the only one that can make yourself happy. You're the only one that can fix you. So that is a super important message for this week. It's also telling me that as these shadows come forward for you this week, to really take some time and meditate on them, to take a few minutes and really think about what it is that sets you off. Like if it's an anger issue, what is it that set me off this week? Why did this happen? Really sit down and meditate about this. And if you call in your spirit guides or your animal guides, your animal spirits, they're going to be there and they're going to help you through this, and they're going to help you understand where it is along the line that you can be better about maybe a decision you had made previously that led you to where you are now. So these are all things that meditation will really help you with, because it'll give your mind and body a time to really like just sit down and focus on exactly what's going on. So definitely, as these shadow sides pop into your week, make sure you take time to meditate on them and figure out exactly what you can change about them and how you can approach the situation differently the next time around. And by doing this, it's just going to slay the dragon, and it's going to make it better in your future ahead. So remember, make sure that as these shadows pop up and the things that you don't necessarily like, make sure that you really meditate on them and focus on them and try to change the way that you are approaching the situation, which is making you feel this certain way or making these shadows pop up. Okay, so that's what's going on this week for you. This is a great thing to work on as you move forward, because if you can bring these shadows out and really focus on them and get rid of the dragon that's on your back, the easier it's going to be to move forward and have a more beautiful, bright future ahead. Okay, so again, I am Bridget M. Shoup, your certified metaphysical practitioner, and I'm also a certified tarot card reader. And if you would like to have a more personalized reading, you can fly on over to my website, which is www.bemoonstruck.com. And over there, I have a drop down where you can click and you can book me online. I do online readings via Skype or FaceTime, and I can also do a quick email reading for you as well. So I do have many options to choose from if you would like a personalized reading. I hope that you enjoyed your reading for this week. Remember, go forward with a positive mindset. Even though, this might not be sounding like a positive week going forward, honestly, you have so much more positive things coming forward if you can work on these shadow sides. So I wish you all the best as your week moves forward, and I'm sending you light, loves, and lunar hugs. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.